So we went and saw Ride Along 2.
Black Hammer 2.
I have never seen Ride Along 1, but it's my understanding that you have.
Yes.
I found myself following the plot quite handily, but is there anything that I might have missed? Any
Nope.
subtleties?
Nope. Basically, they alluded to anything that was from the first one you could probably pick up.
You've been on the force a month, Benjamin.
In the first
You
one,
shot a man.
in the first one, he wasn't on the force yet.
Yes.
Or like, it's like, see how I knocked? I didn't just come in. I learned that lesson last time.
Last movie.
In the last movie, he breaks into their house to like surprise him, and it's like, oh, but they doing stuff.
Oh no. Oh, but they doing stuff.
Or like, God damn it, Ben, you blew up another one of my cars. Car blows up.
You've stabbed me. You've set me on fire. I did do that in the last movie, yes.
It's like they just kept reminding you that things have happened. Like there's an established timeline of events that these two have traversed.
Like maybe I'm their target audience, people who haven't seen the first one.
And now you'd be like, ooh, but what's he talking about with this stabbing him thing? I should go back and watch the first one.
I should probably go back and watch the first one. Should I go back and watch the first one?
No. There's honestly, in the first one, there's really only one thing that makes it slightly interesting, and that's that for no goddamn reason, Lawrence Fishburne is the bad guy.
Okay. And that Benjamin Bratt doing his Ricardo Montalban?
Yeah.
He said there was one thing interesting, and I was gonna guess Kevin Hart making this face.
I think the fucking sun just blew up behind us.
This car's got its bright side.
So,
also, I stared straight into it, so you guys are gonna have to give me a second. So make a Kevin Hart face again.
Grab the dots. There's more Kevin Hart faces.
Yes. It was like, you slightly cross, and then you act like you just got hit in the face with the shovel.
Yeah, this movie was... This fell into that comfortable spot for, like, doing a safe sequel that a lot of movies do.
Uh-huh.
Where it's like, let's remake the first movie, but add in, like, some more, like, goofball characters to pad things out.
Oh, and we should probably give Ice Cube a love interest.
Well, yeah, I mean...
It's like when there's a buddy cop movie, it's safe to say that if there was a love interest for the one guy in the first one, there's going to be a love interest for the other guy in the second one. There were some moments in this movie that I thought were funny, and I kind of like settled back like, oh, okay, they're getting into their groove, they're finding that, nope, something stupid just happened. Oh good, here's Ken Jeong again.
Yay!
He's talking about wontons.
Boy, am I glad that he's a central character in this. Although, honestly,
He wasn't as floppy as he usually is.
Yeah, I have to say, it. As far as movies featuring Ken Jeong, this was more tolerable than most of them I've seen. Like, this...
I think because they already had their floppy guy in Kevin Hart, so I think that he was trying to go for a subdued.
I mean, yeah, if you had both of them going incredibly just fucking manic, or if you had him acting as like he acts eccentric, but I think honestly because it's more expected at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like in the fucking Hangover. He wasn't like what the fuck was his name in that? Leslie Chow. Like, he wasn't that fucking just insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that character just went, I don't fucking even know where. Or like his character from like Community.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't
Senor Chang.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't to that extreme at all. So I mean, yeah, he's still grating, and he still looks like a weird old lesbian woman, but he was tolerable as a
hacker with girlfriends.
Yeah. I mean, that just felt like it was very forced that they kept pointing out, like, it's like, ooh, he looks like a gay old woman turtle, but he's still banking up that poontang.
He announced it out loud to Benjamin Bratt within the first 5 minutes of the movie, like, oh, I bet you think that since I'm a hacker, I'm all like a virgin. Ooh, but no, I get mine. And then later he goes missing, and Kevin Hart has his phone, and it's getting blown up with all his girlfriends. And he was on, like, video chat with one of his girlfriends, and she was, like, dressing up as a mouse for him.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that shit was.
I didn't. I thought that he was like using company funds to hire a webcam girl, maybe, but I guess that must have been one of his girlfriends.
She was a hoe.
She was a hoe faux show.
But yeah, I mean, Benjamin Bratt is the villain in this, and he does surprisingly good.
Like, he does. Like he's definitely doing like a Ricardo Montalban or similar, but well and competently. And there's this one scene where like he's dancing with Olivia Munn, because she's trying to like distract him while the boys are doing shenanigans, and it's a good dance scene. Like he's selling it, and I don't know if they had like a stunt guy, but whoever the stunt guy was really, really good.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me that just like, oh no, he's just like really good at like he's a classically trained salsa dancer. Like, that's just one of the things on his resume. Like, all right, but no, like he did really good. It's kind of funny. Like he's like crazy in shape now.
Yeah, he was ripped, and
like,
that's part of the reason why I think the dancing scene was so good, because it was just like, come, cara mia, dance with me, and just shoulders, and grabbing her butt, and she's like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'm supposed to be in love with Ice Cube, so I'm not enjoying this one iota.
It's like, I'm gonna stare off blankly this way, because I'm fucking Olivia Munn.
She doesn't really have very many faces in her acting toolbox.
She has bitch face, she has blank face, and she has... let me adjust my tits so that you're not looking at my blank face again. Because I ran out. I only had 2. And then tits.
Yeah.
And then even then, like, honestly, like, really, that's... I mean, they're not, like, misshapen, but it's really, like... It's like, hold the presses, guys. It's Olivia Munn. Like, no one gives that much of a shit.
She's pretty. I'm not gonna like hate on her because she's not the most gorgeous woman in the universe. She's a pretty woman. I just don't think that alone is a selling point.
Yeah, but that's like
the 21st century.
But in everything she's ever done, that's always been... It's like, but look, guys, she's on, like, Attack of the Show. It's Olivia Munn. She's a girl with boobs.
She's the girl one. She's standing next to video games.
It's like, no, stop that. Stop putting her in things, too. It's like, no. She's still not a good actress.
She's in this, though, so, it's not like...
Yeah, but...
It's not like her and Patrick Stewart having a scene together.
Shall I compare thee? We did that the other day, but it's still in my head.
To a summer's day! Tell me more, Picard!
But, no, well, like, we gotta, like... Whenever that next X-Men movie comes up, she's in that.
Who's she playing?
Psylocke.
Psylocke's kind of blank face and boobs, too. So maybe that's good casting.
Yes, I'm sure that she can capture the nuanced character of a British gal who got mind swapped into an Asian assassin's nubile body. Yes.
Her thong was up to here, and that's about all I can remember about Psylocke. She'd do like a bunch of backflips. It's like, no! Your poor vagina!
It's like, how does that even work?
Maybe her vagina also has superpowers.
Like, do you think it has, like, those,
It was the 90s, and
those...
all thongs were, like, up to here, but hers was, like, beyond the pale.
Well, it was like a one-piece.
It was a onesie, so it was thong in the front, too.
But, like, do you think it's one of those that has, like, the snaps?
It couldn't possibly, because it would come unsnapped like... I say like that, but it would come unsnapped like that.
Yeah, like, she'd, like, ninja kick her way out of that all the time. But
it was like twang, and she's suddenly wearing suspenders.
But it's like her other option is, like, it's like, oh, man, we're in the field, like, hold on, let me take off, like, the belts that are holding this on and just completely disrobe so I can take a quick pee.
I have to figure she just grab it and crank it to the side.
Do the side?
Yep. She comes back and it's kind of moist looking, but no one wants to say anything because she'd probably punch him with psychic blades. And then it's just
maybe
moist
this will
for the rest of her day. And I'm picturing it like. And every time she walks, it chafes a little more, and that makes it chafe a little more. And by the time she's done with her day, it's just.
And Wolverine's sitting there like. You got pee at you.
That's the line. The thing is, if you're Wolverine and you got the super sniffer, probably everyone smells like they got pee on them.
It's probably because
We are
everyone
none
has
of us
pee on
saints.
us. I'm assuming this will all be resolved this summer with
If it
X-Men
isn't, I'm gonna
Apocalypse.
be angry. Who's playing Apocalypse again? Someone told me I was surprised, but then I kind of was okay with it.
Oscar Isaac?
Yeah!
Which, I mean, I will agree with the pissers and the moaners online that he does look a lot like Ivan Ooze
I don't know who that is.
from the Power Rangers.
Which generation was that?
It was around the time like they were putting out like the second movie.
Oh, okay. I know from Rita and Zed, and that's about...
He was the one after.
Okay.
The third mad scientist.
Did he have such a headache?
Probably. They always do. While I'm gonna pull this up so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's we just watched Ex Machina the other night because David hadn't seen it, and it's like, oh, that's right, he's fucking terrifying in that.
Okay, so one of these is him, and one of them is a
Oh no!
Power Rangers villain.
Okay, I can definitely see that.
I mean,
What is coming out of his chin though? Is that the ooze?
no, that's like a bony protrusion.
Like a bony
that's
King Tut
also
beard.
a goatee. But I mean,
Do you remember?
like, you guys have seen this, right? Like, that's pretty damning.
Do you remember Big Bad Beetleborgs?
I try not to.
Because speaking of prosthetic chins, it kind of brought it to my mind.
That weird ghost Elvis
Bruce
might be
Campbell.
that guy from the nightclub on Angel. Kind of
Lord!
all rolled together.
He had spikes on his face. So, right along too is Kevin Hart and Ice Cube. And Kevin Hart's like flopping around. And Ice Cube is just super mean to him. I mean, like, yeah, okay, he's floppy, but he's not freaking Piggy from Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, that's pretty much how he treats him. Same way in the first one, too, and by the end of that movie, it's like, you know what, man? You alright. I'm
You know
gonna
what?
show you some respect.
I'm gonna treat you like a human being for 5 seconds, and then he falls out of his speedboat and gets
And then it's
dragged
all
by
like,
his foot.
oh, hell no!
Yeah, I expect that. I
that's
hope he can't swim. I hope that he drowns.
On his wedding day.
On his wedding day, dragged by the boat driven by his new bride. I hope he can't swim. I hope that he drowns. The first part of that is an actual line. The second part is the implications of the line that he just said.
I mean, honestly, it's like if the movie was like starring like George Jetson and Mr. T.
The thing is, Mr. T had an ounce of humanity to him.
Clever
Like,
Lang.
Mr. T, there you go. Mr. T pitied the fool, but he never, like, wished the fool to drown. Like, okay, I enjoy the...
And Ice Cube refuses to fly in the movie at the end
yeah.
for no reason. I don't remember that being a sticking point ever in either
It's
movie.
so that they could drive that stupid car, is what it was. For the 30 seconds that they were driving. Like Olivia Munn hooks them up with a car out of impound. It's apparently a thing that you can just do in Miami.
Like, here, take this fucking Lambo. Just take that. Just drive that all the way back to Atlanta.
They were driving a Jaguar during the ridiculous car chase scene, which we'll get into in a second.
I feel like you want to get into that.
I do, but first I want to touch on the fact that, like, I enjoy, like, the Rush Hour trilogy.
It's a trilogy.
I think it's just the three of them.
It's a TV series now, too.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Does it actually?
No.
No. Okay. Well, then I don't care. But see, like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Okay, Chris Tucker was the floppy one, and Jackie Chan was the competent one. And Jackie Chan would make fun of him, but he treated him like a dude, like a human being. And they eventually formed an unlikely friendship. This felt less like that, and more like in like an after-school special where there's a big bully and like the nerdy little bat boy that followed behind him, and they were just absolutely cruel to him. And then eventually they're like, you know what, you're okay. I'm gonna stop actively, physically, and verbally abusing you. It's like, oh boy, that's what I hoped the resolution would be.
It's like, yay, it's a buddy comedy starring, like, 80s Anthony Michael Hall and Billy Zabka.
Yeah!
They're friends!
They're not friends!
By association.
They're standing kind of next to each other.
By proximity. Well, yeah,
so this movie, one of the things that happened, I want to just talk about the car scene. Can we talk? Because we like there's a thing that happened in the middle of the movie, and both of us just kind of looked at each other like.
Now, I should mention, in the first movie.
Did this happen in the first movie?
Not exactly.
Was precedent set?
No, but to give it some sort of a background, in the first movie, he was really big into, like, video game shit. Mm-hmm. And apparently, despite all, like, the fact that, like, you know, they got him playing, like, I think in the last one it was a 360, but in this one he's playing an Xbox One. Uh-huh. He's got, like Call of Duty and, like, Gears of War and, like, stuff like that, like, posters up on the wall, and they talk about and reference all these, like, actual licensed games. But then it cuts to him, like, playing this first-person shooter.
This was not an Xbox One.
And it looks god-awful.
It looked like a PS1 game.
It looked like one of those, like, whenever, like, those Korean...
yeah, like in the Korean news story.
Yeah, whatever. Like, here's a reenactment of, like, Tiger Woods, like, getting assaulted by his wife. Like, with his weird shit like that. And then all of a sudden, like, Donald Trump, like, grows wings and flies away. Like, what is that about? Like, I don't think I'm bored. Some guy was working on this for, like, 5 hours and got a little silly at the end.
Wouldn't you?
It's like, but yeah, like, it looks like that, but yeah, in the first one, it was the same way, except it was like a first-person shooter. But they established that, like, because of all of his first-person shooter expertise, that, like, different things are happening. Like, he keeps, like, that's why they did it in that nightclub scene, is, like, he keeps, like, you know, saving, like, Ice Cube, because, like, it's like, nah, man, I need to go get this guy. Like, no, give him, like, 3 more shots. He's carrying, like, this kind of gun. Like, it only holds this many rounds. I counted. He only fired 35. Like, dude, okay, now he's out. Like, he kept doing shit like that. And, like, like these weird, like, idiot savant type moments like that. Mm-hmm. So that's why they kind of brought it back with that. But then that kind of sets up with this one here. He's playing what looks...
It looks like Grand Theft Auto.
If they decided to make the jump to a third-person perspective back with, like, the first game, instead of waiting until, like, GTA 3.
It's like a neon block with wheels on it. And then a Korean animated grandma jumps out and, like, beats him to death with a bat. So there's this
He's
car
very
chase.
surprised. Like, it's like, all of this is, like, brand new to him. Like, apparently he just started playing that game that day or something.
Well, it's his shtick, is to announce things as they're happening. And, you know, and within the context of his stand-up, as he's recreating a story, it works and it makes sense and it's funny. But in this movie, it makes it seem like he's slow.
Oh my god, I think he was playing, like, that cop video game that they were making in Let's Be Cops. Think about it. Picture that in your head right now.
Why would you remind me we watched that movie? Why would you do that? Okay, so he's playing this game where he's like he's like Grand Theft Autoing, and then later in the movie they're involved in this car chase, and he goes into car chase mode, I guess. And all of a sudden, like, the screen kind of flips around and they keep switching us between, you know, like Gran Turismo when you, like, keep pressing the camera button and it's super disorienting and makes it impossible to follow.
That's the only way I know how to drive. It's like, this is a really epic track.
Yeah. So it's like doing that, but it's a movie, and it keeps switching between, like, actual real life and the video game. And, like, there's a point where he looks over at Ice Cube, and Ice Cube's like a video game guy, and he's like, what are you doing?
That looked like a fucking, like, bad acid trip.
His head looked like a prune with Ice Cube's face drawn on it.
Like, let's take this old, lumpy tomato that's slowly withering and just map his face across it. But not really, like, with purpose. Just wrap it around it.
You know what? In The Sims 1, you could do that. You could, like, take a picture of someone's face, like, and then, but it was kind of like a...
It's like, oh, good. And then slap it on here like some sort of mask of horror.
The mouth is, like, up here.
Everybody looked like Jason, got that droopy eye. It's like, oh, man, you made Toxie. It's like, no, that's my grandma. It's like,
inadvertently made Toxie.
Give her a tutu and a mop. Just call it what it is.
So it was like that.
But it's terrible because it keeps, like, they're driving, but, like, the little, like, you know, stuff on, like, the heads-up display is up there. Like, there's a little mini-map down here, and, like he's earning, like, points or dollars or something.
It's like keeping track of his miles per hour, and it's just steadily increasing as he's drifting across traffic. It's like, yes, he's drifting at 79 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's just weird, because, like, it'll show, like, the other guys chasing him, and they're in normal cars, and it'll show their car from the side, and it'll be a normal car, but then it'll show their car from the front, and now it's, like, animated like a really shitty cartoon. Like, honestly, it felt less like an intentional thing and more like somebody fucked up and lost, like, an entire roll of, like, the B-Unit's film. It's like, shit, where are all the establishing shots? All we needed you to do was film it driving past while we're doing the action shots.
So we'll animate it.
It's like, I don't know, like, I fell asleep, and let's just say there was an accident.
So they hired the guy that made the fake video game for them. The same guy who makes fake video games for, like, Law and Order whenever they have a video game episode.
It's like, I'm sorry I let 3 of my children die. I'm too obsessed with playing this fantasy game. Just a guy on a Pegasus just standing in a field.
Like Bird of Warcraft.
I remember that episode of SVU. I hated it.
Because I remember the episode of, I think it was Criminal Intent, where there was, like, a video game designer and he murdered his partner, but the video game they were working on just looked like open ass.
Yeah, it's like, really? This is what you're staking your claim on? Mm-hmm. Well, there was, like, an SVU one where, like, yeah, they... Like, this family just neglected and, like, let their kids die or something like
Ripped
that.
from the headlines!
Because they were so upset. It was, like, right when, like, everybody was cashing in on the whole, like... It's like, but seriously, though, what the fuck's up with people that play Warcraft?
They're making a Warcraft movie now.
They are. They did.
It's about the orcs.
It's about something.
It
looks like, wow, that is going to be a 2-hour-long cutscene.
I can't hate on World of Warcraft because, like I was showing you, right now I'm obsessed with the phone game where I'm just collecting cats and pictures of cats. But, like, games like that bore me, where it's just like things while your levels increase, and there's no adorable pictures of cats, like, at all.
I'm currently playing a game where one of the members of my party is a super, super buff guy who is also a boxer, like the dog.
Oh!
And he's got a robot arm, and he fights with an axe.
Okay.
And a machine gun.
Like
on
axe,
his robot arm.
Machine gun? Oh, machine gun.
Axe in the same arm, too.
Oh, so like Trigun, also axe.
No, he's like, he has an axe in his big robot hand, and also a gun on the back of his robot hand.
Oh, so he's dual wielding.
Yeah. On his robot dog arm.
I can get behind that. But if you set like a stick with a thing on a string on it, does he lay on the ground and bat at it?
No. But if I level up 2 of my weapons, I have a magic purple frog. His name is Toady, and he will eat your weapons and vomit forth a new one and say, "Patooey."
Sold.
He's got a little star on his belly. The problem is, though, he sounds like Nathan Lane.
That does not sound like a problem to me.
Wait, no, not Nathan.
Oh man,
He's gruffer. It's more of a Harvey Firestein.
Patui.
Guys, I'm just saying, give me all your weapons and I'll make something new. How about? This is what I do when I'm at home. So anyway, this movie, it's stupid as shit.
It's stupid and boring. There was a couple moments that made me laugh, but I was more sad and embarrassed for the characters. And angry at Ice Cube. And also looking at his moles, because, like, they're not, like, big or anything, but the way that they were framing him, they kept, like, hitting the light just right. And you know that it's not so much that his moles were a problem, as that the movie was so boring that his moles are what I was fixating on.
Yeah, it's like, I've never once watched a movie with Morgan Freeman and just been sitting there like, hey, yeah, I know he's got some of this face, but I don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. It's the same way, like Kevin Hart has some weird, like, I don't know if it's like
I think it's a scar?
like a scar or something over here. I don't know. I just kept looking at it every time he turned his head.
I thought at first that, like, he missed a spot when he was shaving, but I think it must have been a scar.
And I don't know why, like, I keep seeing this in movies that I have to keep going to watch that have fucking Kevin Hart in them. But why is the running thing with Kevin Hart movies that he's really weak? He's always, like, getting bested at everything by, like, anyone else around him.
Because he's little. And because he's making that face.
The guy works out constantly. Like, you want to feel terrible about yourself and how your body is? Mm-hmm. Look at his Instagram at any point during your day. Uh-huh. Dude just, like, up in the gym, like, doing, like, one-arm pull-ups with his legs straight out and shit like that. Like, twisting to the side as he's coming up and down. It's like, what in the fuck are you doing? Like, the guy's built like a cartoon drawing of a fucking pit bull. Uh-huh. And, like, the
thing is, to, like, do the level of physicality that he does in movies, you need to have muscle. And I feel like he's probably a vain little dude, like the impression I get from his
I think a lot of it's probably like a lot of, like, you know, like
overcompensation.
Yeah, but I mean he wants to be healthy, he wants to work out, you know, that's cool, but, like, you can't be in, like, that crazy good a shape and then like have the movie like this where, like, he's chasing, like, Ken Jeong, who's not running out of breath at all, and he's getting, like exasperated and, like, having to, like take, like, 2 or 3 attempts to, like, pull himself up over, like, a 6-foot-high fence and shit like that. It's like your fucking biceps are the size of my goddamn waist, dude. It's like, in scenes when, like, you're turning around, like, you've got, like, muscles in your back, I don't even know what the fuck they are.
I think they were trying to hide it to some extent, putting him in those, like, flowy Miami shirts.
Putting him in Fat Max, like Tommy Bahama shirts.
Yeah. It was, like, just floppy clothes for a floppy man, but then he's on the beach, and Ken Jeong's got him on the phone, is like, makes him eat chips with hair on it, which is, I wasn't watching for that part. He's like, oh, take off your shirt, and he's like, oh, alright, and it's like, ripped!
Yeah, it's like they're doing all that, and then, yeah, they're gonna have him getting worn out, chasing him for a block, and then, like, a little kid pops out and, like, punches him, and he just
this movie
fucking
hated
falls
his nuts.
over.
I don't know, like, if the nut humor has come back around again, because it happened a lot in Pan, and then it happened a lot in this movie.
It's just, like, every chance they get, like, they do, like, all this material that makes it, like, it's like, oh ho ho, but it's like, he's fucking huge. Like, he's built like fucking crazy. Like if they needed to for a scene, is like, okay, well, you know, for this epic scene, we need it to look like you're picking up, like, Ice Cube and throwing him over like a car. He could probably do that. And they're gonna have these scenes where it's like I can't do it. I can't do it. Like,
Corbin.
You know what? Have those same scenes, but with somebody built like Chris Tucker from, like, The Fifth Element. Fine. Or, you know, like, have a scene like that, but have it be like, how the fuck is his name? God damn it. That, Keenan,
Ivory Wayans?
No!
Keenan Thompson?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's like, he's funny, he's good, but he's not in shape. You know, like...
Well, you know, because
Have a shot, like, with someone like him, like, huffing and puffing and everything.
Devil's advocate
Gotcha.
here, you know, muscle building is not cardio. So maybe he just...
Oh, he got worn out carrying all those muscles.
No, I'm saying that, like, yeah, he's got, you know, he's got the musculature, but he doesn't have the cardio.
His legs match his arms. Like, he looks like he runs, like, 30 miles a day.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just does squats.
Well, then maybe he fucking should. What's the excuse for stuff like he can't pull himself up over a thing?
Maybe he didn't want to.
It's like, oh man, sorry, I already blasted out like 100 reps this morning. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm all worn out.
He's got those noodle arms.
Like, you caught me literally as I was leaving the gym. Like, I can't do it. I'm cashed. I'm done. It's like, no, stop that. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It sure doesn't. I'm not trying to... excuse me.
You're not trying to fall asleep in the middle of a review. Just take naps.
Benjamin Bratt. No, I'm not trying to stick up for this movie.
Doing that Miguel Prado he was doing, though.
Oh, apparently he owned a Prada toilet.
No, that was Gucci.
Oh, Gucci toilet. And
They kept
the Diamond Dolphin, which I don't even know if that was a reference to something in the first one, or...
I have no fucking clue. They kept, like mentioning...
They mentioned stuff off screen.
Yeah, they kept, like, mentioning, like, extravagant products, but they would never show any of them. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a situation of, like, I don't know, like... You know, it's like... I always hear, like, in rap songs, like, oh, man, like, I got a Versace sofa and shit like that. Like, fuck, I don't know, maybe Versace makes a sofa. I don't fucking know. Like, he's talking like, oh, man, they got a Gucci toilet. But it's framed from, like, waist high and you never see him turn around. Like, it's like, are they doing the rule where you don't show a toilet? Or are they just doing the thing where, like, it's like, we don't want any problems with the Gucci people because we didn't pay to have a Gucci toilet.
Maybe, like me, they didn't know what a Gucci toilet looked like and they couldn't be asked to Google it.
I just assume it'd be like that one weird...
I figure it just got, like, big G's on it. Just all, like, the interlocking Gucci G's.
Yeah.
Just all over the print.
You know, when you say that out loud, it sounds silly.
It's the Gucci G's.
Like, maybe... I mean, I would assume it would have to be something, like, really fancy, though. Like that crazy, like, sci-fi toilet that, like, plays music and, like, can sync up with your iPod.
It makes, like, loud coughing noises while you're pooping.
No, it's that one that, like, transforms, like, the whole thing, like, it just... When you're not using it, it just folds down into a box.
I'm just... Sorry.
It's got a self-warming seat.
I'm picturing it folding down, but the contents don't, so just...
No. It releases scents into it. It plays music. It has lights. It has lights on it.
I'm gonna make you one of those toilets. I'm going to tape to a toilet a flashlight, an iPod, and a Yankee Candle Pink Sands air freshener.
It's an air freshener down here. I had it hanging up here, but it just kept going, just as I was driving, and I'm like, that's really obnoxious. But,
it smells pretty. It looks like a tiny candle. We're not going to show you guys, because...
It's totally down here with our Gucci toilets. And our CGI alligators.
No, there's actually 20 down here, the diamond encrusted. That alligator, I swear to Christ. So you've seen the alligator in the preview, if you've seen the preview for this movie, and it's basically what the preview makes it out to be, where it's like Paul Blart 2, where he falls into this random courtyard just so he can get chased by a random animal. And it steals his shoe, and you think, oh, okay, the shoe's gonna come into play, like they're gonna get away safe, but then Benjamin Bratt's gonna find the shoe, and he's gonna, nope, he caught them immediately.
Yeah, he knew what they were doing the whole time.
Yep, he knew their names, and he knew their dynamic. I don't know where he was getting this information, other than the script.
as terrible at their job as they are in this movie, I really don't think... Like, he's got to have some connection there at the precinct. It's like, yeah, he's...
Maybe it's Olivia Munn. Maybe that's what they're talking about while they were dancing. What?
No, they were just talking about, like, it's like, could you stop making it rub up against my leg? No, I mean, it's making me really uncomfortable.
Seriously, stop touching my butt. Seriously, stop touching my butt. Seriously, stop touching my butt.
It's like, yes, I can see that your hands are up here, and yes, I know that you're still touching my butt.
And she was wearing one of those dresses, and it's just a little thing, but it's something that annoys me when there's like a male or female cop in a movie, and they're undercover at an event, and they're wearing an outfit that no cop would own. Like, no cop would have the budget to own as a undercover outfit, you know? Because that dress looked expensive. It had, like, one of those butt zippers that goes all the way down, and, like, a fakey bra.
The true sign of wealth.
It looked like a fancy-ass zipper, so I'm telling you. It was bodycon, as the kids say.
Maybe it got impounded along with all these brand new cars.
If you're allowed to complain about Kevin Hart's muscles not making sense, I'm allowed to complain about not being able to buy that dress on a cop's salary.
I feel more like you're complaining about not being able to buy that dress on your salary.
I would not wear that dress. First of all, that's... Okay. So, like, the concept of a butt zipper, it looks cool, and it's interesting in theory, because, like, ooh, if a gentleman caller could zip it all the way up. But then you sit down, and you've got a zipper on your butt crack, and it's cold, because you've been outside. Or, it's not cold, but it pinches you, because that's what zippers do.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, functionally it seems fine, but in practice that seems like not a great idea, and especially because, like,
it's the same problem I have with thongs, too, is that I don't need to be that aware of my butt crack 24 hours a day. Like, I'm okay ignoring it for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I can take or leave mine. Like, I feel like that also gives it a structural weak point.
Yeah. Well, because, like...
I fucked up a coat by, like... It's like, oh, I need to stretch over here to, like, gap in the middle, like, son of a fucking bitch.
Now imagine that's where your butt crack is.
Right here.
Everyone imagine that's where his butt crack is.
It's right here. And I'm at like mid chest here, like I'm right below the ribs, so like that means that it's right here, and then I still have a belly button below it.
We can make sure that we're picturing it properly. Is it one gigantic butt crack, or just like a tiny one for auxiliary farting? It's like a fear response.
I kind of feel like that'd be like...
I feel like it's gotta be one gigantic one, right? Since the zipper goes all the way down.
It's like a weird butt version of, like, Videodrome.
Yeah!
With front butt.
I have that picture where it's... Have you ever seen that picture?
I don't know what you're talking
Where it's
about.
like, it's a man going like this, ha, except that in front, and he's like naked and oiled and tan, and he's got like a white mustache, but then in front it's just a butt. It's one of my favorite pictures to text people out of nowhere. I'm surprised I haven't gotten you with it yet.
If you have, I've blacked out that portion of my day.
You're gonna remember this conversation in about 3 days.
It's like, what the... Ow! Why?
Oh, no, I get it. Front butt.
Oh, yeah, his whimsical mustache.
Unclear on the concept. So right along to.
That's our thoughts on that.
Right along to. That zipper probably isn't very comfortable on her butt crack.
Right along to. Right along one, but during the daytime. That's it.
So previews-wise, we got here a little bit late, so I feel like we probably missed one. But
Rub that one in again.
Well,
Rub that one in some more.
So this jackass, okay, I'm sitting outside the movie theater at 7:02. The movie starts at 7, and I call him and I say, hey man, where are you? You coming? And he's like, yeah, but the movie's at 10, right? And then you know, like a moment in anime where it just moves back, and I'm just standing there, and I'm line out line, and then like a leaf blows by. It's like, aw. Like, oh, all right, I guess I'll go into the theater and meet you here. And he's like, I'm just joking. I'm on the frontage road. Like, you fuck.
I could see the AMC.
You were still late.
Well, what could be done?
Leave earlier. That sounds like too much trouble. But we still saw 6 previews. Okay, so we got The Boy, which is that doll one that I don't have to worry about because the movie must be out. Yep.
Yeah, it's a January horror film, so I'm pretty sure that's what I'm seeing next week.
Have fun with that. It's like there's a doll and it's got ghosts in it.
Yeah, it's Maggie from The Walking Dead with a really overdone, like, ooh, it's like Annabelle, but with like Robert the Doll. Not to be confused with Robert Zadar.
I was so confusing it with Robert Zadar until you said something, so I'm really glad you saved me.
Which would be a much creepier movie. Like, they let me just draw an outline.
Robert Zadar just sitting in the middle of the room like, what? What are you doing? Now watch, if we leave, he moves. Of course I'm gonna move. Where are you going?
You guys are assholes. You got souls to take.
See, that movie I'd watch. This movie I don't care. Okay, we got The Brothers Grimsby.
Which I think looks fucking stupid.
It sure does. It's Sacha Baron Cohen as like the older brother of a 2-brother team where they were orphans and they got separated, and the one turned out to be Mark Strong as a assassin, and the other one turned out to be Sacha Baron Cohen with ridiculous facial hair as his wont. Ah! He got Guy Furry! It's one of the rare cats. He's wearing a little chef hat.
Of course he is.
So, Mark Strong...
Also, Guy Furry, that's what they're going with.
Guy Furry.
Not Meowrio Batali.
Okay, that's so much better, but they just translated it into English.
Celebrity chef Cat Cora.
No, that's...
2 on the nose.
2 on the nose. Dude, there's one named Lady Meow Meow. They're not really...
That is...
worrying too much about the cleverness of the pun.
Sounds vaguely racist.
Conductor Whiskers isn't even a pun. It's just a cat with a conductor hat and a whistle. So, Sacha Baron Cohen. And there's an episode of Psych where it's based on the movie Clue, and there's the butler, and his name is Clevby. And that's all I could think of when they kept saying the last name in this preview.
I am intrigued because everything about it, aside from the fact that it's, and also, from and starring the creator of the Ali G Show. Like, I have no problem with Sacha Baron Cohen, but, like, it seems like this was an interesting idea, and then, like, it's like, this seems like it might be too much like The Kingsman. I know. Let's have him have an older brother who's a fucking twit.
I like him in Sweeney Todd, which I'm probably gonna watch tomorrow. Because Alan Rickman. Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, which, sidebar here. Like, celebrities that I like, stop fucking dying this year, okay? Just
like,
cut it the fuck out.
Oh, the cancer? I don't... But yeah, that's... I'm not one of those... Like, when someone that I think that... I'm just gonna watch a movie of his that I like, you know? I'm not one of those people that can, like, go and write, like, this huge moving R.I.P. tweet. But I'm gonna watch Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, it's like the other day, like... I can't really, like, move myself to, like, put up, like, a thing about it, or, like, especially, like, with everybody else doing it. But you know what? Like, I'm just gonna turn on Spotify and just listen to, like, Hunky Dory. Like, I like that album. It's a good album.
Gotcha.
So what else you got on your arm there? This is depressing.
Death!
Stop dying!
I've got death on my arm. Deadpool.
Oh, wow. Which definitely seems like is probably going to be stupid. I'm sorry, like I've been holding out hope for, you know, him making this movie for like 15 fucking years now, it seems like.
In every preview I watch,
but
it makes it look worse and worse.
It's the problem I've had with it since they started really like digging into it, is the fact that like it's shtick that works on paper, but it's hard to replicate on film, especially when, like, you know, half of his stuff is like, it's like, oh, because he has like 2 or 3 different internal monologues running alongside his that he argues with, or, you know, like the situations are just batshit insane.
Mm-hmm. Like he becomes a pirate all of a sudden. Like
it's
bakes a million pancakes. But like for me, my problem is
the cutaway
so much
joke where he's just
stick.
like sitting in like a room full of like fucking burritos.
Mm-hmm.
Like he robbed a burrito truck and just like killed a guy and used the $3 million he got for the hit contract to buy $3 million worth of burritos or chimichangas or whatever fucking ethnic dish he decided on that day.
Well, the thing is, like, movies can be surreal and silly, and I'm still gonna like them. But like, for the Spider-Man movies, they seem to be able to do pretty well.
Like how you say that, like it's some sort of like Hebrew surname.
He's the Spider-Man.
It's like, oh yeah, you know, Joel Spider-Man.
Of the Connecticut Spider-Man. So yeah, but in Spider-Man they can make it look like he's wearing a full face mask. I'm sorry, my nose is running. And still look like he's actually talking behind it. Whereas it seems like every time they show it in the Deadpool trailer, it's just like the CGI face going, and a clearly 80-yard voice quipping the light fantastic.
Because yeah, I mean, it could be that like those like audio, you know, clips were from different parts of the movie or something. But like, yeah, that's the same thing I was getting off of it too. Was like he's talking, and just only occasionally you'd see like the jaw move down to like let you know that he's still talking. I
have to hold out hope that maybe they are stealing quips from different parts of the movie. But as it was, it did not leave me looking forward to it. I'm going to see it. I'm still going to see it. I like Deadpool, and I love Ryan Reynolds, and I love T.J. Miller. But I'm not expecting it to be good.
Yeah, although I do think it is funny, though, that new billboard they have up for it places.
Oh, the one that makes it look like a romantic comedy?
No, but I do enjoy that. No, there's one that they put out. I saw Ryan Reynolds put up a thing on Instagram about it earlier today. That he was like said something about how like it's like, you know, like whenever I saw this at first, I said that Fox marketing team didn't have the balls to put this up. I stand corrected, like something like that, because it's just 2 emojis and a letter. It's just big skull, big pile of poop, the letter L, Deadpool.
Gotcha.
So it's just a giant billboard with just the happy smiling for whatever reason. I don't know why it's always like, why is it anthropomorphized pile of coiled shit? It's so goddamn happy about it. Making this fucking face of like that fucking Angela's making at the end of Sleepaway Camp. So yes, we get it. You're some weird coiled pile of shit. Happy about it, but like, no, I enjoy that. That's like a giant.
If it was just a poop, it would be gross.
That's what mine is. Mine doesn't have a face on it. When I hit that button, it's just a pile of shit and a couple little flies on it. Mine are very bleak.
At first, I didn't realize you were talking about the ones on your phone.
Yes.
So I was like, what button are you hitting?
The piles of shit that I have on my phone. Just pictures of.
No, I thought you meant just your poops. I'm like, what button? Barbershop, the next cut.
Oh, yeah.
It's got Winston in it.
It's a barbershop movie, which they're still making those.
Mm-hmm. It's got Nicki Minaj in it.
Instead of Queen Latifah.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's basically going to try to be like a political message comedy.
Yeah, I think they're trying to change the world.
But by the time this movie...
the power of barbershop.
But by the time this movie comes out, it's going to be so far past the mark.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's going to run into that realm of just beating a dead horse. Like, hey, remember 2 years ago when that was a big thing? When everybody was like now it's just like, yeah, we know. It's bullshit, but what can you do? Like, I feel like that's, like, where it's going to hit. Like, when comedies were still, like, it's like, and then here's a wicked Sarah Palin joke. Remember that 3 years ago? Remember that was funny? Cause, like, well, no, because, like, it seemed like they greenlit this movie the minute I got out of the theater from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they probably did make a lot of this movie, like, last summer.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, you know, like, him playing, like, a game that's clearly a knockoff of, like, GTA 5.
Yeah.
Or the fact that, like, that big scene at the beginning, he comes, like, driving up, listening to, like fucking Iggy Azalea. Like, do people still do that? Like, I know that was only a little bit ago, but, like, it's one of those things, like, it just makes it feel, like, super dated now. Remember that one song?
Remember Fancy?
That you couldn't get away from? And I feel like that's where this barbershop movie is gonna come out. Like, I'm not trying to say, like, it's like, yeah, remember that whole, like, Black Lives Matter bullshit? No, like, what I'm saying is, like, it's gonna be past that, like, the effectiveness of that point by the time this comes out, to where it's just gonna be like, yep. Well, like, if, like, a year and a half from now, they come out with a movie and somebody's, like, ragging on, like, Donald Trump running for president.
Uh-huh.
It's like, so you wrote that when that was on. You filmed it. You missed the mark. Like, I feel like you're being oddly silent.
I don't get to weigh in on most things.
Although
the first thought was, well, Brian, Black Lives are still going to matter in a year. And I didn't want to say that out loud in your face. Because I feel like the point you're making is valid, just perhaps not for that particular point.
Well, yeah, like, but you see where I'm talking about, like,
a lot of time with comedies, if they're doing a lot of, like, it's nowadays references.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Then you can really tell in a year and a half.
And that's the big point I was trying to get at, because, no, I'll fully agree. Like, I definitely agree with, like, everybody calling bullshit on the white Oscars this year. Holy shit. Like, every fucking category. White people.
I looked at the Oscars this year, and yeah, it's a bunch of white people. It's also a bunch of movies that I haven't seen, so I'm just not that invested this year. I think it's just going to be a bye year. Yeah,
well, that's why I sent you that thing earlier. It's like I've probably seen or know more about the movies on the Razzies list.
Yeah, the Razzies I'm invested in.
Than the Oscar list. Like, I've seen, like, two movies.
Jupiter Ascending does not deserve to be on the Razzies list. That movie was magical.
Well, you can champion its cause.
I will, and Eddie Redmayne doesn't belong on that list because he acted strangely, but he acted his little heart out.
Well, I guess that's why he's up for a Razzie and an Oscar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's bring this home. What else you got?
Oh, I got two, because we got What Now, which is the Kevin Hart stand-up. I guess he, like...
Oh, yeah, it's
like,
just another...
sold out not a basketball stadium, a football stadium.
It's another concert movie of him doing stand-up, which the only thing I have really honestly to say to that one is hopefully it'll be better than his last one. Like his last stand-up special, like, it was funny, but it was also like that point that a lot of comedians hit where it's like I just went through a big life change, like getting a divorce, so I'm going to tell an hour and a half worth of jokes about how being married is terrible and all women are god awful.
That was kind of his jokes back when he was married. Like,
but now they're like kind of like
they were doing that.
There's like some spite behind him, like Christopher Titus. Like, I remember years ago, like his stand-up always punchy and kind of like a bit like bitter at the back end of it.
Yeah, like talking about his wife and how they fight all the time, but it's strengthened their relationship, and then Love is Evil came out, and it's like, oh,
it's like,
no.
It's like, and it's terrible. And, like, he just kept, like, dragging his ex-wife through the fucking dirt, and then talking about, like, it's like how, like, his new girlfriend is, like, half her age and, like, super hot. And it's like...
and a model and graduated from MIT.
It's so awkward. Same with like Aziz Ansari. Like I like his stuff. I think he's really funny. I like his stand up. Like that that last special he did that went like up on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Was just like super awkward. Like like I don't know if he had like a pregnancy scare or something. But, like the entire thing was just him talking like, oh, but man, the like babies are gross. Like I see my friends like we got a kid, and he's like, that's cool. I'm gonna go have fun. He's like,
I was trying to convince somebody.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you don't want kids. We're fucking received. We got it. Like an hour and a half of that.
Like Patton Oswalt, okay? The progression of his albums are like young and single, dating, just got engaged to this wonderful lady, married, about to have a kid, had a kid, but shenanigans kids cause. That I enjoyed it. You know, we're following him along a life path that is.
It's like, I tricked her. I tricked this woman into marrying. It's like, that's the kind of stuff I want to hear.
I hate.
Yeah, it's just like, it's so awkward when that happens. So hopefully, like,
he seems happier.
Yeah, hopefully now that like his life has gotten past that point, maybe it'll be material that's not incredibly bitter.
Yeah, my main takeaway is like, okay, I'm a big fan of seeing stand-up live. I think it's an important thing to do, but I have no interest in doing it in a football stadium from the fucking nosebleed section, because I'm not going to watch a dot do stand-up.
Yeah. That's the same reason I don't like going to like arena concerts. It's like, no.
Might as well just listen to it at home.
It's like a place like the Metro. Like the farthest you can get from the stage is like 30 feet from the stage. If you go 31 feet from the stage, you're outside. Uh-huh. Like, I'm cool with that.
They're dancing at us, so we should wrap it up. Neighbors 2 Sorority.
A movie I didn't know was being made.
I didn't like... The first one looked dumb. I didn't realize it did well enough that it would warrant a sequel.
Or that even if it did well enough to warrant a sequel, that the thought alone warranted a sequel. Like, it basically seems like they took the idea... Like, basically, they took like the first half of like the House Bunny and then merged that into like Neighbors. Uh-huh.
And it seems like, I guess, him and Zac Efron ended up friends at the end of the first one.
I guess.
Now Zac Efron has like joined the Killjoy team.
He calls like them, like that frat in to help them stop a sorority that opened up.
I guess.
Next
Because
door.
the sorority, it seems like, you know, they're fighting for their right to party, and then, yeah, they all seem dumb as a bag of bricks, but like in a fun, like this movie, I'm more interested in seeing than I was Neighbors, because it seems less like let's all shit on the old people, and more like these are young people, these are old people, and they're going to do battle.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think
Chloe Moretz is adorable.
I think Letty's seen Neighbors. Like, we downloaded it once, and then like I had to come see a movie, and then I came home, and she's like, "Yeah, I watched it." Didn't really talk about it at all. Yeah, no, like
they're leaving.
Yeah, just started up your car. I think they're gonna drive off. So we should probably wrap this. Yeah, right along too. There's a reason it's in January, where movies are just put out to pasture.
Aww.
Not sure what to do with it. There's always January.